Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk to you about the new Titleist TSi drivers. We're going to start by comparing the TSIs to the last year TS models. And starting with the center of gravities, for both drivers, the center of gravity was pulled back about 3 millimeters further away from the face, making them more forgiving. The projections onto the face both projected about 1.5 millimeters lower than last year. That makes the TSi launch a little bit higher and spin a little bit less than last year's models. Now when we look at the MOI scale, the TSi2 was about 3% more forgiving than the TS2 model. Now it may not sound like a lot, but you have to remember the TSi2 and the TS2 model are one of the most forgiving drivers on the market, so there's not a lot of space that they have to work with here. The TSi3 model increased MOI by 5%, which is a nice significant change from the TS3. Now, when we compare the TSi2 to the TSi3, here's where we start to see some changes. On the MOI scale, the TSi2 is about 10% more forgiving than the TSi3. Makes it a lot easier to hit when you're missing the middle of the face on the TSi2. Now, the CG placement is a big change between the two. The TSi2, the center of gravity is about 4 millimeters further back from the face than the TSi3. And it projects about 1.5 millimeters higher on the face than the TSi3, making this club more forgiving and slightly higher spinning than the TSi3. Now the TSi3, the projection is slightly lower, about 1 millimeter lower than last year's, making it lower spinning and actually higher ball speeds than last year's model. What's also interesting about the TSi3 is this is the first time Titleist has introduced a weight track. Now I know they had the weight bar last year, but the weight bar only allowed you to move the center of gravity to the extreme heel, toe, and stock. With the weight track, we can now fine-tune the movement. And the movement across the face this year allows us to go from 1 in the heel all the way to 2.5 into the toe, which really allows us to dial in the strike point of a golfer to match their CG location. So if you're looking for a low spin and lower launching driver, go with the TSi3. If you want to try out the new TSi drivers, come on into the golf lab and we'll sort you out.